he
I
says,
thought he was going to keep going.
All right.
What did he say?
Quackers.
Quackers? What?
I don't know.
Oh, where's the quackers?
Yeah. The duck that he had under his arm, the rabbi.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta love a good rabbi joke.
Speaking of quackers, did you see that new trailer for the Thanksgiving movie?
Yeah. Wow.
I want to see it just based off the absurdity of it. It's like Dr. Giggles and stuff like that. I was like, man, I want to see this now because the kills were looking pretty good. So
I don't think I've seen it. Horror movie?
Yeah. Gosh, what is it called? Is it Thanksgiving? It's
I
something.
think it is Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah, it's a pilgrim.
Yeah.
And he's just
Halloween King.
letting loose.
Part 2.
Yeah, man. I haven't seen the preview for that yet.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's like almost like I Know What You Did Last Summer, but you interject a pilgrim in there, and everybody's getting together for Thanksgiving. Oh, hey, Loco, thank you, man. Thank you for the plug. Appreciate it.
I almost watched almost Googled Teeth, which you guys were talking about last week.
Yeah.
And then I remembered the old, I think it was an old promo picture of what was going on there. And then I remember what you guys were talking about. I've never seen it, but I now remember the movie. We talk about Teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got the room started off.
Room
is strong right now. All right. So, got to try to speed this up. I have my director in the back going.
Remember that Chappelle show when they had like the wrap it up thing for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're off stage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah. Keep talking about. Keep talking about the pilgrims. I think I got it. All right, guys. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hello, everyone. My name is Paige. Welcome to Hangout, episode 133, where we are back from the previous week to give you positive insight into the world of collecting a very chill and relaxed atmosphere. I say we because I am joined by my two homies, Mr. Cory Christopher and Mr. Michael Cory, a.k.a. the two Corys. How are you guys doing? Good?
Good. Excellent.
That's it? Nothing else?
Excellent.
Overwhelmed?
Overwhelmed? Yeah, I think we all are. In some aspect.
Dumping on my doorstep.
Yeah. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
It's not a dull moment.
So, tonight's episode is properly titled Bare Bones because tonight's going to be really quick, hopefully. You know how we say that, it runs into something else. So, nothing flashy, just bare bones. Originally, I had this episode is back to the drawing board, but that was kind of boring. So, what we'll do is we'll talk about some of the offerings from companies that are going on and they're throwing at us right now, some possible ways to kind of get customers back, because it seems like I've seen a bunch of posts about people saying, I've just lost interest in the line, even their favorite lines. So what we'll do is talk about that. We'll talk about King Conan. We'll do some haunted history tonight, and just some random thoughts about some of the news that's going on and what we can do to save the universe until the next episode. Right, good. All right. Show foreplay. Favorite scary movie? Go. Cece, go.
What am I doing? I'm on the spot.
Favorite scary movie?
Oh, man.
Scariest movie you ever saw?
I don't know if this is the scariest movie I ever saw, but the one that made me jump the most was Insidious.
Ooh, good one.
Insidious had a lot of those moments that you didn't expect, where just the timing and everything was perfect. Like the one scene where they go to the closet. 9 times out of 10, when they open those closets, there's never anything there. But when something finally jumped out, the kid jumped out of the closet, I jumped because normally they do that. They never. So they did a great just way they set things up in that first Insidious movie. I thought it was great. Very suspenseful in that movie. That was really well done.
Yeah. Or when the kid was dancing. in the kitchen. I was like, what the hell? And they had Tiny Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah. It was really well done.
MC, scariest movie you've ever seen?
Sharknado 2.
Sharknado 2? Oh, wow.
No, I would say when I was a kid,
It was frightening, just different reasons.
Yeah.
The Omen.
The original one?
Yes, because I was
Yeah.
young lad when I saw that, and it just terrified the shit out of me for many years, traumatized me almost. Still go through
Yeah.
counselors, still talk about it.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one. So I got this movie. It's called it's really old. It's called Terror Train. So, CC, you'll probably remember this. You remember when having HBO was like a big deal? Like you were rich if you had HBO.
Yeah, my neighbor had
So
it.
yeah, yeah. So it's like, oh, I'm gonna go with it. Yeah. So on HBO, they had this movie called Terror Train. But a bunch of college students, they rent out this train, they party and everything else like that. Jamie Lee Curtis is in it. I forgot. When I was a kid, I used to sneak in my parents' room, and they had a water bed. And I know that, you know how, so I'd hide under the thing. Some of them had cabinets, but I hide right there. And I'd lift up the blanket and watch HBO. My dad's watching Terror Train, scared the shit out of me. It's the scariest movie I saw because I was a kid. And then I know how bad it was because he told me to go get the mail one day. So I go out to the mailbox, and you know how HBO used to pull those booklets out?
Yeah.
What's coming? Yeah, you had your schedule before the internet. I opened it up. He's on the front of it. I closed it and I ran back in the house. And I told my dad, he's like, is there any mail out there? I want the HBO catalog. And I was like, nah, it's not out there. And I wouldn't go out there, dude. That's how bad that movie freaked me out. It's a scary movie, man. Oh, we got some other ones. Let's see here. Boba said Magic Mike was the scariest one.
Can't argue.
Dude, Tim Curry killed that role. The devil that was in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Curry was good.
Insidious, another one. Cable box here. Does anyone remember Hot Box booster cables? Yep, I remember this.
Yeah.
You got The Ring, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and he said, "Yeah, I'm familiar." Yeah, I think we all did that at one time. Hostel movies, those are pretty brutal too.
Oh, the first Hostel.
Yeah.
Just more violent with the blowtorch on the face.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, and it seemed like after a while they were just like, what can get the most rise out of people? So, all right, here we go.
Gonna give us that
Bare bones
rating.
Yeah. So to start off, happy anniversary, gentlemen.
Ooh. Has it been 1
Little
year?
fun fact. Yeah, little fun fact for you. The first show that we all did together was October 12th, which is tomorrow, episode 80. So we're on 133. You want to do the math, but a whole year, you guys, taking out some of the suspensions and stuff like that. So yeah, man, 1 year.
Wow.
A whole bunch of episodes. So I decided to get sentimental here. So I wanted to take some time to thank you guys both for being an important part of the show, man. Taking those suspensions, like I said, multiple times. Interjecting green room humor. Letting me ramble, being supportive of things that I want to say, ideas that I have for the show, and always bringing good energy, and just for being good friends. I really appreciate you too. So thank you guys very much.
We appreciate you for having us, man. It's always a blast.
Yeah.
Always a blast.
Thank you. And as a token of my friendship and appreciation for all you guys do, I will be sending both of you guys $25 gift certificates to Taco Bell. Because we are sponsored by Taco Bell.
It finally pays off.
Yeah, exactly. It's the gift that keeps giving, depending on which one you go to. Ooh, gosh. Oh, dang. So, but seriously, thank you guys. Appreciate you guys.
$25 at Taco Bell is a lot of food.
Yeah,
it is. Oh, fix it.
Remember those
close to a bathroom after that one.
Yeah. It's bad Chinese food a week ago.
Ooh.
So keeping on pace.
What is this?
Today, surprise drop. Surprise! King Conan Did you guys see this coming or no?
Did not see it coming.
Yeah. So
Everyone kind of wondered with there being no showing at SDCC or anything.
I know.
Yeah, people were bagging on that.
Yeah, I thought that we might see something because it was within that year. Like Bartholomew Vex, King Conan was another one. So this was a surprise drop. So just quick fast. Regular release, $100, which is kind of in the middle. Barbarian was 90, Conquer was 112. So like I said, you're just kind of meeting in the middle with there. NRD was 25, supposed to come out May or July next year. No Throne. Do you guys have any thoughts on this?
I was shocked at the $100 price. I kind of figured that 112 was going to be the going retail price moving forward.
Were you shocked in a good way or a bad way?
I thought it was a bargain for just $100. I mean, it's hard to say that for $100 and call it a bargain, but considering what you're getting with the alternate heads and the accessories and how well everything just appears to be done, I mean, that's pretty impressive.
MC, thoughts?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. I didn't want to interrupt you and say this, but I was like, come on, dude, seriously, you can't say you passed on that boat. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, so far Mezco's inflation proof. It was a great price for what we got. I got one, so I'm excited. I thought it was.
Yeah. All right. I should have been doing my job. So going through these, obviously these are digital renders. I guess some of the feedback I saw from the community was no Throne. I know a lot of people probably thought about that we were going to get some of that. I think that would have boosted up the price. Since we're talking about price, that probably would have put it up even more. Confirmed. Right. We're getting crocodiles. Confirmed. Or alligators, however you want to say it. I'm going through these a little slow because I want you to tell me if you guys see anything, because we're going to talk about something. Take it all in. Confirmed treasure chests.
Yep, we're getting gold. Real gold.
Oh, what's that?
It's the gold has been melted down from all of our NRDs. That's what it is.
Yeah. Digital currency. All right, so obviously these are all digital renders. I thought that the price point was really good. I like all these new accessories that we're getting because they look like they're just character specific. I was talking to Boba earlier today, but we were talking about like the shield, swords, axe, and stuff like that. Of course, this is that's Solomon Kane, the armor and everything. You get the cloak. You get a king's cloak, and then you'll get this winter furry liner one. So, ready to play the game?
Ready.
All right. So, this was, and this is mixed in a little bit of conspiracy theory. So, this was the Mezco Con reveal, right? We all can agree on that, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Boba, no cheating. We already talked about this. You can't do it. So this was the Mezco Con reveal previously, and you can see some of those things. And this is what we got today. Obviously, the head's different, but there are a number of things that if you go back and forth with this fast enough, you can kind of tell some of the things that are different.
Mm-hmm.
Cece, you go first. What do you got?
There's a logo missing in the bottom left.
Oh, very good. Very good. MC, do you got something?
Beard,
yeah. That is different. We do get a older looking one. I don't know if it was, like I said, the digital rendering of the color shading that they did, but yeah, that's different too. But to stick with what CC was talking about, I did notice that first. That
the logo.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stole my answer. He looked over at my test paper.
Oh, cheater. I keep thinking like that Cat Williams skit where he's he tells him he's like DMX was in his class, and he's like, "Hey yo, what's the answer? Number 6." And he's like, "Why are you yelling?" Like, trying to cheat. It's like you've been cheating class. Yep, that's another one too. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I think probably the biggest thing that stuck out to me was that there isn't a logo on here. So initially, before it was Frazetta, and now it's not. And I think we kind of talked about a little bit of this before because we know that Frazetta Girls is doing their own figure, and I kind of wondered maybe that is what kind of delayed this from coming out. Maybe they were kind of working out some of the details because this is obviously more comic based. You can see right there, Marvel launched that new their new Conan series, which is really cool. The guy that does all that, the drawing, everything, I met him at CC. He's the one that signed those comics for me. He is awesome. But that's the logo that they use, and they did have a King Conan run. I think that they're supposed to be doing, but it's a little bit later. But there's your bearded head, another beard, but that is missing. Yeah, that was one thing. Another thing I noticed, you couldn't use reward points on this, but I think somebody messaged them and said they wanted to, and they got that kind of reversed. This too, they changed. If you look at the fur, like the cape, that's revamped. They had like these gold studs on there, and now you just have these eyelets on here.
Rivets almost.
Yeah, yeah, the eyelets. I was thinking, oh, that'd be cool because you can kind of hang it on stuff or chain link it on something. Something weird. His Loco had already mentioned this already, but before he has had his left gauntlet, and now they have both gauntlets. So yeah, I'm also wondering if I was going to run this by you guys. It has that projected date of May, July. It's pretty quick, but would you guys be okay if this got pushed back one more time or twice? And because the reason why I brought up the Frazetta thing is because license figures cost more, So now that they're not bound to that, but maybe they're bound to something else, if they changed it to put Death Dealer's double jointed elbows on there, would you guys be okay with the delay?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it looks really good, really good. Oh, another thing too. Somebody, I was talking to somebody else today. They were like, "Oh, this is a lot of reuse," and I go, "Oh God, here we go again." I go, "No, it's not." I said there is some, but one of the things I was telling, because I was talking to Boba about this too. So you see this fur right here? This is like a mixture. This is the one that came with Barbarian logo, and then this is the one you got with the booster kit, right? Same thing. You got that here. Oops. Fast forward. What they did was they took one of the capes that has this fur on there. I think it was Conqueror, and they put that on top of the booster kit one. If you look at it.
Yeah.
So, nerd stuff aside, final verdict for this. What do you guys think?
Looked really good to me. I pre-ordered.
There
wasn't much hesitation. I thought it was an easy buy.
Yeah, that was the only delay for me getting it was Kevin was using the Wi-Fi, but we discussed that earlier. So,
oh God, here we go.
Hey, can you confirm that?
Yeah, he probably was. Yes, this is a good point Loco put up. I know Super 7 had that throne that they put out, and cheap plug for Boba. I'm pretty sure Boba's going to be making thrones, so you could get on that one. Yeah, he's going to make it. I mean, he made like what death arenas and stuff like that, and different and it's all of them really good. He'll do that, take his shots, and then he'll put them out. So I'm pretty sure Boba's going to be doing some stuff with that. I know it's a 2024 figure. I mean, he's already stamping it. He's doing a CC and stamping it like Dr. Doom.
What if we don't get Dr. Doom until 2024?
Ooh,
Conflict of interest.
Conan could be in trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Where else was I gonna go with this? I think that's about it. So yeah. MC, did you get or no?
I did, yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the delay was just waiting for it to go up. And I mean I knew that I wasn't worried about not getting it because it was a pre-order and what was the limit, like 12 or something like that?
Yeah, it was very case friendly.
Yeah. That previous picture with the red cloak, it looks very Leonidas
It does.
300. It, like, I don't want to offend any Conan fans, but looks so badass with him standing there with his sword and the red cloak. Like,
Yeah. There's a bunch of good stuff on here. I know these ankles right there too. These are pretty good as well because they give you more range. And then also this is Death Dealer's chain mesh thingy. You're not gonna be able to see it because it's the older solicitation, but yeah, that cape looks really good too. Whoever's doing their Photoshop stuff, they're getting very good. It's like, well, you gotta like, you know what I mean? You have to present it, but it looks really good. These pictures,
Yeah.
whoever put them together, like, I don't know if this was like something they really enjoyed doing and they put a lot of care and attention to it. Not like they don't with the other stuff, but these are really good.
Kind of wonder now if I shouldn't pick up a second one and get one of those barbarian kits.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking because of these alternate heads. Like this one right here.
Yeah.
That is a very good, just generic head. So, all right. Beat into the ground. All right. I think I covered everything on this one. Next one we got is something to lead into our main topic. This right here. Bam. So I don't know if you guys saw. I completely forgot about this until somebody posted about it, but I guess Giant Man's in the 12-day window now?
Yeah.
What is it? I think the time I checked was right here, 56, 54. Needs 10,000, 12 days less. How do you guys feel about this?
I thought it was a cool offering. I mean, Giant Man himself didn't really move the needle for me too much.
Right.
But I'll be honest, I think this is another one of those things where he's kind of a victim of there being so many offerings at this time that you kind of got to prioritize and decide what it is you really want. He's just not on my must-have list. Seems great, but he's just not a must-have figure for me.
Yeah. What about you, MC? Got some thoughts?
I think the price point is fair. I'm not in Marvel Legends. I'm out that game. So, but I think I'm just looking back right now. Ghost struggled at the end, but then it just like, it unlocked all 3 tiers like instant. Like in the last 24 hours, it went through the roof. So I think it's going to get backed. They failed with the last HasLab they did, right? That was that Engine of Vengeance.
Yeah, the Engines of Vengeance. Yeah. Galactus, I think it was like this too, and I think 4 to 5 days before it was going to close out, it actually got funded. This isn't like a panic or anything. There's time, but I just wondered, like, I thought because of the price range, this would have probably got backed a lot quicker, but it's kind of going into fourth quarter kind of stuff.
I think a lot of people think, for whatever reason, they think they need to pay for it up front and don't back it. Maybe I'm wrong, but they don't charge until the day it closes. But also, I mean, we've been hammered with HasLab after HasLab. We had the Joes, the Dragonfly, and then the Goats came out. Now this, and then there's a bunch of other Kickstarters that are out there. I mean, Legions is beating people up left and right now. There's just a ton of offerings that it just, like Cece said, it's just all about prioritizing what you're going to go with right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Bad sent me something yesterday. and said they were charging me for that Dreadnought, the Buzz guy, and he was supposed to come out in December.
Really?
So
Already?
everything's getting pushed forward. I think I told you guys too, the Indiana Jones wave, the last wave. Is that what we're gonna dub it? The last wave?
The last wave, final,
Yeah, the last wave.
the
But
final crusade.
that, yeah, they said that that's coming pretty soon too. So it's like, I you know, I don't I didn't I know I've talked about this with you guys too. I haven't backed it. I just forgot about it until today, and I was like, should I even do it? But it's not like you're gonna lose anything, but
Yeah. Do you think
it's
the strategy of kind of showing you all the tiers up front is hurting it a little bit?
no, because it's weird because that's what everybody wanted. They just did it with the wrong one. Do you know what I mean? And then it was kind of short. A lot of from what I've seen, a lot of people, it was not my thought process on it.
Yeah.
I think they should do that, show all the stuff, because that'll get people to say, "Oh, do I want this or not?" Instead of waiting until the last minute, why not just show everybody? But most of the feedback that people have been saying is that the tiers that were the unlocks, they're not that great, in their opinion.
Yeah.
But we talked about this on the show about how they needed something that was safe, and then also they needed a win.
Yeah.
And the way this is going so far, I feel bad for them. I think some of it's backlash press. It's like a lot of people want to see it keep failing, and I get it. Maybe it's not your cup of tea, but there's only so many, losing streaks you can keep taking with something, and then they're going to go, you know what? Why are we even doing this? Let's just get rid of it. We're not going to do it. We're not going to offer it anymore.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know people are thinking that they're flexing like collector muscle, but you got to be careful and use it at the right times. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
otherwise you're not going to have this anymore.
Do you think people are upset that they're not getting any figures with this offering, or do you think it's with like what CC said, like Giant Man's not really his thing? I mean, it is. He's not an A-lister, that's for sure. I mean, I know like back in the day he was in the comics, he was a big deal,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, what do you think?
I think they
Getting beat
I
up?
think they went safe. I think they went safe. They probably had a bunch of projects. Like, let's say you had like 10 projects out there, and you're like, well, this one, we just tried to do this Engine of Vintage. What else can we do that's safe for us and that, that we could probably do? You know what I mean? And they
Yeah,
said, what about Giant Man? They probably had a bunch of other stuff lined up, and they're like, man, let's try Giant Man. It's a cheaper price point. We'll lower some stuff, strip the tiers away because everybody keeps complaining about it. We'll show them the tiers. Everybody keeps complaining about it. Everybody keeps complaining about price point. We'll do this one, and then that'll get us back into it. And now that backfired on them for now. I'm not saying it's not going to get backed. I'm just saying that for now, I'd look at this and I'd be concerned. I'd be like, geez, are we going to do this anymore?
Yeah.
I think some of it's collectors too. Like collectors, like I said, they're like, yeah, we can control some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And
vote with your wallet. I mean, we all know that.
yeah.
Then you
It'll
have
be interesting. See where it goes.
you have some influencers out there that are very negative and push that agenda hard to shit on projects.
Yeah. I think there's we talk about this all the time, but like, I think there's just a way that you can do it, voice your opinion without it sounding too personal. You know what I mean? A lot of times it comes out personally. You can tell when some people talk about it. And a lot of times people have very good bullet points about it. And you're like, oh, this person doesn't care either way. They're just pointing out obvious stuff. So that's why I say it'll be interesting to see where this goes. Because, like, what if this doesn't fund? Some people are probably going to be like, you know what? Or it might be a corporate decision to go, hey, why are we doing this? Let's just get rid of all this stuff and we'll just concentrate on the mainline stuff. They don't want
Yeah.
it. That's the message you're sending. They don't want what we're showing them. So,
I
and
think
it's not like a reversal to say you got to buy this or you should buy this. I'm just saying People shot themselves in the foot with that EOV thing. They should have handled it way differently.
I think it, my opinion, for me, it's HasLab fatigue too. I mean, it seems like as soon as one project ends, we're getting hit. And I know not everybody collects Star Wars, not everybody collects GI Joe, not everybody collects Marvel Legends, but it's one after another, after another, after another, and it's like, come on, guys, you like, was it? God, it was a ridiculous amount of money that they made on the Ghost. Obviously they have a lot of stuff to invest in it, but when that deposit hit that first night,
Yeah.
could have bought stock like the week before, and then all of a sudden their value goes through the roof. They're liquid.
I was at SDCC when they charged for that dragonfly. I was like, ooh, God.
Guarantee they went out for a very expensive dinner that night.
Yeah. So I don't know.
We're gonna eat at the
You want to make
con.
you want to make bold predictions? You want to say, do you think this will get funded? Do we want to do that or no?
Sure.
What do you say, CC? You think it'll get funded?
I think it's going to fall short.
Okay. MC, funded? Yes, no?
I agree too. Fall short. Now Paige is like, what do you think?
I'll do the PC answer. I want to see it get funded.
Yeah. I'm the same. I don't want to see
I want to see it get funded.
because there's people that want it, obviously, and I'd like for them to complete their collections and get what they want. It doesn't affect my wallet, so
Yeah.
I think the goal is too high, and they should put a lower goal point for the end game. Yeah, I do too. I think that's their next course correction for this. Either, you know what they should do with some of this stuff, like the EOV thing. If I was them, I'd put it back out again, and I would say, here it is. It's up for pre-order. If you want it, you want it, and then just make those units. It's almost like they're strapping themselves with the number sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
I think people look at this as like, people look at that and they go, yeah, we're controlling this. If you strip that away, nobody knew anything about it. You don't know how many are made or anything like that, and you just put it up for a pre-order. I know that goes against what the HasLab is, the whole design of it. But obviously, if you're 0 for 2, why not try a different strategy? Put something up and just put, hey, this is up. You want it? Come get it.
Yeah.
Like Ramen, they made their car for, I think they were under 3,000 units for their car. I mean, they're still taking pre-orders and stuff, and their price point was very fair.
Yeah. But do you see what I mean? Like, about just, I really think that this is a big sticking point. When you start giving people, you know how we always talk about transparency, everything like that. When you give this kind of information to people go, that's information. And you get to see it, and you get to see how you can change that. If you take that away, nobody knows anything. You wouldn't know if that thing got funded.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have people looking at it and going, I'm going to wait till the last minute. You wouldn't have people looking at it and saying, oh crap, it's not going to get funded, or is it going to. You just have it there. You don't say backers. You just say, hey, it's up for pre-order.
So
just try it once. See what happens.
768 times 500.
See what you're doing? You're like calculating already. That's what I mean. You got people looking at these numbers and they're going, oh, they're making this much money. And
so Ghost was over 10,884,000 that hit their bank account on whatever day it closed.
And you got some people that use that information and go, that's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
They're making all of this money. Take it away. Don't let anybody know.
And I mean, like, obviously there's a cost of doing business. There's marketing. There's R&D for it. You have to pay your people to build it. You have to pay the like that. This isn't $10 million that just goes straight into somebody's pocket. Almost 11 million, but obviously they're making money. But
yeah, I think you just take that away. I just thought about that right now. You just take this away. I think it changes a lot of stuff. You don't have a lot of people looking at that. Do you ever wonder about how many? besides us doing some of the Mezco stuff, do you ever wonder if after the production number is a good example? Do you ever look at it and go, damn, they made 5,000 and they had 100 of this? They just leave the pre-order up and then they take it away.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Before, when I was doing like production numbers and stuff, people like I was using it as information, like, okay, this is the run, this is how limited it is. If you want it, come get it, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But now people don't know. Unless you're savvy. You know. Anyway. I hope it gets funded. So no hope. But that's a silky segue into the next conversation. Back to the drawing board. So back to the drawing board really quick. I was talking earlier about Oh, is that feedback from me or something? Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably me. So we were talking earlier and just now about how there's so much product coming out. And I think a lot of people are fatigued, and that's some of the reasons that people will say, oh, well, I'm losing interest in the line. So I know we've talked about it before, like slowing down collection. Even MC said it, like you're getting out of Legends already, right? You're done.
Oh yeah, I've been out for a while. I mean, I think in the last year I might have bought maybe 4 Legends characters, maybe in the last year and a half, 2 years, year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just very
And it's
selective.
yeah, so saying it's like almost like we've kind of like progressed to the cherry picking part of it, right?
Yeah, it's. I mean, there's figures that I like that I'm like, wow, I'd really like, like that last, like Blade and Luke Cage and those guys that they just released, and that new Build-A-Figure, but it's just I don't need it, I don't want it. It's just gonna Sawyer's. I just went through a lot of his toys too, and just like Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you touched this? When's the last time? So we had a purge.
Yeah, MC's been very good about keeping us. I've taken that mantra to heart. I've been very proud of myself walking in the store and not buying stuff. Sometimes, but
I heard doesn't even go in stores anymore.
that's also another way to do it too. It's like an alcoholic not going into the liquor shop. You just like you stand outside of it and just shake. Crack. So some quick context to this. I was in a group, and this is kind of weird. This guy wrote out how he felt about it. It wasn't past trash, this sucks. It was like he was telling you why he felt a certain way about it. One of the things that stuck out to me was he said that he didn't feel like buying figures anymore from the line because his interest level had just kind of disappeared, partly because of the sheer volume, space, money, stuff we talk about, right? Do you guys feel that way?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
like
on across the board or just certain lines?
I mean, just overall.
I don't have disinterest. I mean, I'm overwhelmed sometimes. Like this week, I got, on Friday, you guys know, on Friday, I got Solomon Kane and Slugfest on the same day. Yeah. Today, I got Robin. It's just like, you guys are like, hey, what do you think of this? I'm like, I don't even know which one to open. Like at that point, I feel like it's not fair. Like, I mean, obviously our figures don't have feelings, but like Slugfest, I kind of like looked at him, put him back in the box. Solomon Kane, I played around with a little bit more. And right. Robin, I busted open tonight when talking to you guys, but they're all great. They look phenomenal, but it's just like, I don't know which way to go. It's like too much,
This kind of goes with Marvel Legends. I think mainly talking about Mezco and Hasbro Marvel Legends. Those seem to like be the ones. Joe's creeping up there, but like CC, do you think that there's too many reissues with stuff? Like they reissue color variants and stuff like that?
I think the classifieds, I think, are a good example of that.
Mhm.
And I think the reissues make it difficult for those collectors that feel like they have to have them all.
Yeah.
Right? Like I feel sorry for those guys. Whereas for me, it's an easy opportunity for me to have a figure that I don't have to worry about purchasing because I'm not a variant collector. I don't have to have every single Viper. I don't think I bought the last 2 Vipers in the classified line. I managed to skip over those.
Yeah.
But what I've really done is I try to give myself established rules for what I was going to collect, and then kind of make sure I stay within those confines. I think sometimes when these collectors talk about they're losing interest, it's because when you get into a line, a lot of times you get into a line with the intention on I'm going to buy every figure that's released. But then once you're not able to, and you kind of feel defeated because you had this goal of I'm going to have them all, then it becomes kind of tough, I think, to kind of continue along, knowing that you're going to have to cherry pick moving forward and not be able to just get them all. But that's the decision that that I made a long time ago. Is I'm not trying to keep up and get them all. I remember I had told you guys a while back that I had come up with the strategy that I was going to save money with collecting and just go with hot toys, right? And hear me out. So at the time, Marvel Legends were releasing. It felt like a whole wave almost every week was hitting the shelves.
Yeah.
Right. So I was literally walking into Walmart or whatever and buying 6 or 7 figures every week, just right on the shelf. Because I was buying the entire wave so I could do these Build-A-Figures. So I was like, you know what? I was like, I can switch to Hot Toys because at this time, they weren't pumping them out, right? It was like one Hot Toy about every month. And I'm like, well, you know what? If it's one $200 figure a month, that's a hell of a lot cheaper than $150 in Marvel Legends every week.
Yeah.
Because they were piling up. I was doing the math. But little did I know, shortly after I started with Hot Toys, The Mandalorian comes out, Star Wars explodes, and then, now there must be 40 or 50, Hot Toy Star Wars related pre-orders out there. So, I quickly changed strategies and got out of there before it got too bad. But I'm always trying to be a little creative that way. Because I know if I don't give myself some sort of rules, I'll just buy it all. And that's not where I want to be.
Yeah, it's almost a double-edged sword because I know we're a little bit older and a little bit more established than somebody that's either in college or maybe just starting a family or have other kind of responsibilities. Mm-hmm. And so that option to be able to do that, it's important to have some kind of like self-control.
Yeah.
I really don't have it. So to a certain extent I do, but not to you can compare yourself to other people too, because I'll see somebody and I'm like, Jesus, I don't feel that. But then I'll go in a room and I'm like, no. But, do you guys think that pricing right now is confusing for people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think, MC?
It needs to be a little all over the place.
So, you can take Marvel Legends and you see them going $27, $30, and you get a set of hands for an accessory, extra set of hands, or like a Spider-Man, you get Spider Web, or maybe an alternate head now. So, I still look at them on the shelves. I don't buy them. The X-Men wave that's just been released again because of the card backs and same figures we got a while ago, just a little bit different with the repaint. And so for 3 of those, you can get a Mezco. I mean, like, look at Conan today for $100. Well, I guess maybe closer, because sometimes they're 30, 35, whatever. You get a few of those figures, but most often they're reissues or they're an obscure character, or and you can get a Mezco with so much. Like, to me, like, I would rather have one amazing figure instead of 5, 4 not as good figures. I don't know how to. I'm not saying they're bad because I don't want anybody that loves Marvel Legends to be offended or something. But of course, my priorities in buying are different than theirs. So, and then you look at a G.I. Joe Classified, which is made by Hasbro, and you get, we get Low Light right here, and that's not even all of his accessories, and he's the same price as A Marvel Legend, you got a case with a gun, a backpack, a minigun, a rangefinder, a knife, goggles, and he's I think he's all pinless, the drop down hips. I mean, how many? Unless you have Spider-Man, you're not getting all that shit on a figure, like articulation wise. And it's the same.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. One thing that I was thinking that's a good point. But another point I was thinking also, even if you don't include other companies, but if you put it in your own line, some of the pricing you made was a good point. Was about what offering has more or comparable to that. Like, let's say you're paying $31 for this and you're getting 10 accessories, but you're paying $31, you're not even getting hands. That's what I was meaning by confusing, even within your own line. And then another part that's really confusing, I'm pretty sure you guys will agree with this, is that lately, it's almost like everybody's playing a waiting game now and waiting for stuff to get to Ollie's or waiting for it to get on Amazon or waiting for it even to hit Target and hitting like $11.
Mhm.
And so it's almost like you're conditioning like collectors now to say, I'm going to wait for this stuff. Even within your own line, like with offerings, you just mentioned the card backs with X-Men, right? Or most people used to get those whole waves for the Build-A-Figure. Now it's almost like you say, okay, that's cool. I'll just wait for him to release it on a standalone and I'll save. Even if they charge like $60, you're still saving $100. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by like, do you guys think the pricing is confusing? Because you're telling your customer base, yeah, you might get it later, maybe not. This is expensive for you now. We'll discount it later. And now you got all this product on the shelf. So
Yeah.
what do you guys think?
Yeah. Figure Arts has kind of conditioned some of their fans to kind of think in that way. If you look at what they've done with the Dragon Ball Z figures, and they've done these second releases, it's one thing to do a second release, but when you do a second release that's significantly priced less than the original, I'm not really sure what they're promoting there. The first offering runs you 75, and then they come back out and the second run's 54. It's kind of weird. It almost makes you say, well, I'll just wait for the re-release.
yeah.
Vintage collection. I love the vintage collection, but them and these quote unquote deluxe figures, that Sabine Wren that came with a Loath Cat for, what is she, $28?
Yeah.
For a 3 3/4 inch figure.
I'm 4.
Black Chrysanthemum for $35. Like that's, if you think about that. Now we talk about $100 Mezcos at 6 inches. I mean, vintage collection is becoming a 3 3/4 inch Mezco damn near.
Yeah.
That's a $35 figure. It's 3 3/4 inches tall.
Yeah.
That's it's a bit steep.
Yeah, I used to be in a group. It was one of those all-inclusive groups, and guys are like banging on me, like, "Oh, you're paying $100+ for each figure." And this guy said, "Mafex is cheaper." And I told him a year ago, I was like, "You wait." I go, "It'll be the same price pretty soon."
Yeah.
He's like, "There's no way. That's how they're keeping all their customers." I'm like, "No, that's how they're getting customers. And then once you get on, that's when you raise the price."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Don't worry, your figure is going to be much as a Mezco, probably more within a year or two, just like with the other things like Marvel Legends and everything."
Yeah.
That those prices are going to creep up. I remember they were all talking about that. Oh, I'd rather pay for a $20 Legend than pay for a Mezco or a Mafex or any of these figure arts. And now they're creeping up to that price point.
Yeah.
So there was two of these I highlighted. This was a really good one. Like, what would a $100 Legend figure need to have to equal $100?
It's an easy question. Soft goods.
For Legend, obviously more accessories as well. I mean,
hands and stuff like that. Heads,
alternate heads. Look at the people that Paige, you and I both pre-ordered this, but we both canceled. I don't mean to throw your business out there, but that Spider-Man Far From Home 3-pack that was $90. No head sculpts for Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, or Tom Holland. Then they go and release them now. Same things, but they throw in the heads, and they're $24. So you get the extra head,
and you're paying less than that 3-pack when they released it. Like that's some Bush League bullshit right there.
Yeah. Omar had a great point, like Paternia. Like we followed him most of the time. We're like kind of in sync with some of that stuff.
We throw each other those.
It's a great site, but that's what he said. He got his null pack. I don't know if Omar can tell us how much it was retail, but I remember I see that.
I know
it's $80.
I was gonna say I know CC can tell us. I remember what he bought.
How much?
It was $80.
Yeah, so it's $25.
Yeah,
but that's the point I was making. Like, if you see that price point now, most people, unless you're a true fan, you might grab it. But most people are gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna wait until it hits this price point. Now you have all this backlog of product and nobody's buying it. Maybe if companies just like took all the information from this year and what they projected they were going to make with the price point and then what they actually sold stuff at and saying, you know what, we need to come down, even making an announcement. Hey, guess what? We're going to be lowering our prices. This is what, the standard will be. Maybe even lock it in for the year so you're not confusing people.
yeah.
I know these are business decisions that are way out there and I don't understand the whole process, but you can see how this is becoming a problem because collectors are going to be like, I'm just going to wait or I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
What if you have that 3-pack that you just talked about that was $90? Would you buy it if it was $25-$30 and a year later? You may have lost interest in it.
I would. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like like I said, I very rarely. I'm out of the Legends game, but I'm half tempted to get that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, just because that was the first Spider-Man movie we got.
Yeah,
it was like in our time. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know about you guys, but that one resonated the most with me. And Tobey is my Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Although, obviously CGI has gotten a lot better, and so, but I even still, I won't pay what they're asking for it right now. I'm gonna wait till it's marked down. Like, I know I'll play the long game on that one.
See, he just encompassed the whole guy. See,
Yeah.
It's like people are gonna wait. It's like,
yeah,
it's almost like, I don't know. Far from me to look out for corporate America or anything like. I just think that they, especially with ways things are going right now. Obviously, everybody's like trying to play catch up from COVID. They got all this stuff. That's why we're getting flooded with that and new stuff. Maybe it'll pan out next year, but there's just a lot of stuff, and people's dollars can only go so far.
Makes you wonder what their profit margin is per figure, since they're getting clearanced out on a null 2-pack that CC paid $80 for, and now Omar got it for 25.
Right.
Like, how much are they still making on that 25? That $25.
Where and now do you lose a customer? Do you use CC now because Omar said he paid 25?
Yeah,
is the frustration level.
I won't buy another $80 2-pack. You better believe that. There's no way.
See, do you see how it all snowballed? Yeah. I was looking at it. I was like, when I walked into Target and I saw that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember. I told you guys. I was looking at. Remember, I was talking about that Electra Nachos Daredevil. I'm like, oh man, I really want her. $12. 2 weeks later, and I was so glad I waited.
And that thing hasn't been out long. Just a couple months. If that.
The grunt.
Finster.
That G.I. Joe grunt.
Story. Have you shared that yet?
Which one?
Your Finster story.
Finster.
The guy.
Is that his name?
As you guys
Power Ranger.
The Power Ranger.
Watching for 2 months.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was a running joke with us, right? Like, what's the stock price on Finster? And it's like he went up to what? So that Finster was that Power Ranger. It's just some standalone guy, right? There's nothing really major. But he was $12. CC and I were in there going, man, we should get it. We waited. It shot up to $24, then $28. I'm like, oh, we missed it. And then now, if you go on Prime, it's $9. And so that was one I didn't think was going to go to $9 because they're putting that line on hiatus. But do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's a good one.
Well, what's funny is that it went from 24, I think $24.99, I think was the regular price. And then earlier this week, it was 28. So it went from 28 to 9, in just a matter of days. Saved yourself $20 by not panicking.
But yeah, you got to watch that. Ann was telling me today too. There was something that she was looking at, and I guess with some of these Prime things, they've been jacking up the price really high, saying something is $30 or $40 over what the regular listing is. That way, when they drop it, the percentage they can say, "Oh, look, you're saving 60%. You're saving 60% off the 70, not the regular price."
Yeah.
So you got to kind of watch out for some of this stuff. But yeah, it seems like people are going to be looking at some of these collecting stuff and saying, "Hey, we're going to play the long game with this." But
Look at the Black Friday deals that Prime always does too. Like those, I remember that Wolverine 5-pack that they did, that Weapon X or whatever, like where they had like,
yeah,
and that thing was 120 or whatever when it came out. It got marked down to like $30, I think, last year, $40. It was such an
yeah,
insane markdown, and
yeah.
it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think that's the way it's all going to start moving. It's going to, well, at least until something course corrects. People are just going to be like, I'm going to wait. Why? Why am I going to spend it? Another factor to this is that, how FOMO kicks in with everybody. There's so much product being produced at a high rate. I think we can all say we don't really feel like you're going to miss out on something.
Mm-hmm.
Not anymore. Remember Joe's like a year ago, 2 years ago? You're like, oh shit, I'm gonna miss out on these Vipers, and they're never gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Now now they've done it in 3 or 4 different forms. You're like, I'm not gonna miss out. So you're not putting any kind of like pressure on the consumer to really jump at that price point that you're asking at. We probably don't do this. We can move on. Was it 55? Plus that's on any one.
Wrap it up.
That is
Get the little box. Yeah.
Yeah, heavy, quick hit. So we'll move on to our last topic here. This is a running theme that we've been doing for the month, and this is, I messed this up completely. It's supposed to be a nice little lead in, but this is our haunted history. So, I know, right? Kinky. So this week's haunted history, we're going to be talking about the Mezco Marvel. That could have been like the Batman, right?
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the Mezco Dark Carnival. Now, I traced these figures back to, I think it was 2003. Quick disclaimer, CC, we're about to probably drive through Clown Town. So I will give you warnings before they happen. So
avert your eye. Go check the mail. See?
Right?
Yeah. He was a clown. I hate clowns. So also, really quick before we start, if you would like to see the complete checklist or read more about these characters from this line or any other line, the information that I got was from Figure Realm. Please go see Figure Realm. This is a great source. I was actually just pulling pictures and some of the information I had, but when I hit a search, this came up and he had pretty much, or they had a nice little catalog of it. So the first one, really quick, well, I'm not going to bore you guys, but just it's haunted history, right? So first one we have is the two are the Browning brothers. They made this version, and they also made right there. And if you're watching, there's a point to all this. They also made a variant version.
There's not much articulation in those, are there? Is there?
No. Some of these figures that they had, they would just have like arms move and maybe head.
Okay.
Some of the lower torsos you can probably see here. There's no torso cut or leg cut legs. So you just had very minimal movement, maybe 3 to 5. This is the Browning Brothers variant version. Real quick, clown alert. Next one we had was Cadaver the Clown.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Cece's here. I thought he was gone. So he had the Cadaver Clown, and then the next one we had was my personal favorite. Adapt, improvise. You're fired.
Remain calm.
Hey, is that Mez's cell phone number?
It is.
Screen grabs.
I know, right? No, people do that for the Conan stuff.
Dude, that's badass.
Yeah, this is my favorite. Madam Mortis, the misfortune teller. Get it? Misfortune teller. Anne hates when I do that with jokes.
How big
She's
was
like, if
that?
you most of these figures average range was I think between 7 and 9 inches. I don't know about this because it's in a booth. So I am Zoltar. You pulled that thing, but this
Pretty
was
cool prop.
yeah, look at like all the sculpting detail and everything,
Yeah.
even if it's just a like you said, a prop piece.
Those
And then there was I'm sorry, I interrupted, sorry.
I said going to eBay.
Yeah. I did do a scout after this, like before this, but I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. And then they also had a variant version. That's not the variant version page. Nope, that's not the variant. I'm sorry, clown. I guess that is the variant version. The best picture I could get. But there was a repaint variant version. And then clown alert, clown alert. You had Stitches.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Again, this is very early. And then also they did a 22 clown alert. They did a
boy.
22-inch clown. Was cadaver.
22 inches?
That's what she said.
I would not want that in the house.
So you see, I'm buying you that for Christmas, just so you know.
Yeah. He'd snuggle with
That
it.
thing. No way.
The
No.
way
It's huge, man. Oh, is that like spiral, like saw kind of stuff right there? Look at that. Maybe
No
that's a
way.
watermark.
Dude.
Not
They also
help.
did another variant version of this. This is the Spencer's edition. This one looked really cool.
Spencer's. Was that laying next to the adult novelties? Art spray, the lingerie, and the adult novelties.
And so that was our haunted history. It's just paying tribute. Excuse me. Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, he probably have some bad dreams tonight. And continuing, just to show that we're not biased. You guys will probably want to talk about this because one of you guys probably has this, correct? So you have. This is the Mythic Legions figure obscura Mask of the Red Death, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's a good figure.
Speak on it.
I would have, if I'd known this was in here, I would have brought it in here. It's in the other room, but it's based on the Edgar Allan Poe poem. Mythic Legions does a figure obscura line. I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong, CC, but the 4th or 5th character that they've put out at this point. So it's similar to Mythic Legions, but their own the separate line. There's Cosmic Legions, the Mythic Legions, and the Figure Obscura. I blame CC for getting me into Mythic Legions. He's the reason why I have a few now. But it was like a buy it now. There was an all in that came with a pin and a cup, like a coffee cup. It's like a metal coffee cup though, like one of those like tin. You know what I mean? Like, but it's black paint. It has a red skull on it, logo, and then the enamel pin that they always give. You got this badass clock with it, and the raven on top comes off. You can take that off. The front plate of it comes off. There's so much detail. Like it's got like a bronze dry brush over all the metal, like what you see is like metal stuff. The few hands, the little knife, and that pool of blood that he's on. It'll hook onto the clock. Also, there's like foot pegs for the clock, so it looks like the clock is bleeding. And
you could say it's that time of the month.
The
zing!
Oh boy!
Canceled.
No setup on that one. There was no setup.
The soft goods are really good. There's wire, bendy wire throughout all of it, so you can give it like a nice flowy look. And the mask comes off, and there's a secret underneath the face that I don't know if you have a picture of that or not. I could run and grab it, but Mythic Legions improve their arm articulation with this figure. I don't know if they've done it before. CC, you can correct me, but they're not double jointed, but you can really good bend out of that elbow now because they just how they engineered it.
So it's a single joint, but it's good.
Yeah, I know that's shocking.
It's impossible. I can't believe that. I don't believe it.
Let me see if my wife is still up. I'll text her and see if she can grab it for me.
I need to have a banner that says sarcasm.
You guys did not get that, if I'm correct, right?
I did not, not because it didn't look good or anything like that. I just, I was trying to prepare for all this stuff that I think is coming. So,
Jeez, ignoring
yeah,
bed.
yeah, it's okay. So, yeah, this looked pretty good. Halloween figure. Just to kind of push this along so we kind of stay on time. So I wanted to have people on, but I think since we already busted the hour mark, and to be able to do that, but next week we'll try very hard to do that. But questions I was going to ask them, I'll just ask you guys really quick since we're on the Halloween thing. So and not to exclude everybody in the chat, please type what you guys want in there and be part of the conversation as well. But what horror figures would you like to see and why? It can be any company, any character. It doesn't have to be Mezco. You want NECA to make it, that's cool. If you want to make Jada Toys, make horror figures, whatever. Who and why?
CC, I'll let you go first.
I'd like to see Mezco revisit some of the classic horror. Maybe a seamless Creature of the Black Lagoon, something like that. A Mezco Wolfman would probably be pretty terrific.
Oh, yeah. Would you, not to interrupt you, sorry, would you want some kind of like hair flocking technology, or would you want it to be plastic?
I'd like to have the flocked Wolfman. I think would be really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So like longer hair, kind of like they do with Hot Toys kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Sorry,
those would be the two on my wish list.
MC?
I would really love to see a seamless Creature of the Black Lagoon, but I'm going to say Ghostface from Scream. I think that just screams soft goods. That's how I felt. He stole my answer, the bastard. And then, oh man, this is a tough one. Second one, I think it'd be really cool if they did a jigsaw as well, like a small, like scale it down and give him a little tricycle for an accessory and stuff. And I mean, I know it's not a person, it's just a doll, but I think that would look really cool, scaled down like appropriately. Be an accessory
what
to
about a 2-pack?
Orchard or something. You know what I mean? Like make a figure that's got like the bear trap on its face, and then have like a mini jigsaw on a trike. I think that would be badass set.
Would you do a 2-pack if they did the trike and the puppet, and then also jigsaw
Himself,
like in the red robes with pig mask or something, or just something like that? Would you do that?
Yeah, I think that would be cool.
Yeah,
but throw in somebody that is in a trap, like one of the traps that he's got, like the rats going to the face or whatever, something really that Mezco can really show off their sculpting and detail would be amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm with both of you guys, and especially CC with the I don't know what's up with the Universal Monsters. I don't know, because other companies have it, if that can be split up or anything, and I don't know why it stopped, but I would love to see Mezco do Dracula, just because of all of the all the layers that would probably be involved with it. You know what I mean? Like just having all of that, I think it would be cool, and just to see some of the little details that they put on them. Maybe some kind of like pimped out coffin, for him.
Like the medallion on his neck, the gold.
Yeah, all of that stuff. Maybe throw some accessory, like transformation accessories or something like that. I would love for them to do all of them. Even though Frankenstein was a part of his time, I wouldn't even mind if they revisited that. Maybe if they went and did, like Son of Frankenstein, or
like go full on Monster Squad, bring them all.
Wolfman's got nards.
Yeah, like something like that. I mean, I think they could do it. You know, they're really. I know they catch flack for certain stuff, but I think as far as like soft goods and stuff like that, their attention to detail is done very well. As far as like a big company, I know that there's a lot of, you know, private and third party companies that do great soft goods, but on a mass produced scale, talking like 5, 10,000, you know, that kind of stuff, intricate detailing. I think that they're pretty much doing. They're the tier for that right now. So I would love to see them take on something really complex like that.
That'd be
You know,
cool.
Dracula, or even like Invisible Man, something challenging like that. Have
Like
the wraps.
a clear
Yeah,
body underneath it. Like if you unwrap it enough
yeah,
or take him down, then he's have a clear figure with a pair of glasses on his face.
yeah. Something like Trevor said too, like that Victorian look, that fits with their aesthetic that they're doing right now with this, you know, with some of the stuff that they're following right now.
See,
So,
see, it's okay for
oh,
you to say Edward from Twilight. Nobody will
here it
judge.
is. Boom.
Yeah.
Ernest scared stupid from NECA. There's
Um,
this side cutter pyramid bodies, and they could have pumpkin heads. Yeah, it's just.
I would like to see some cryptids
Oh yeah.
come out as well. You know, like Mothman or Chupacabra or you know a true Sasquatch or Yeti versus I know we got Mosquatch, but
Yeah,
I would like to see their take on some cryptids. I think that would be really cool.
yeah. This is some good combination offering, like because if you did do that Bram Stoker Dracula, the Gary Oldman one, you
Yeah.
can kind of tie it in with the armor suit. That's a really good idea that Trevor had.
Would
I showed the Dark Carnival stuff because like you could see the and the stuff that we saw before previously. You know, the segment we did. If you didn't watch it, go ahead and watch it. But
Mhm.
this previous haunted, you know, the history of horror with them,
Mhm.
you can kind of see that they've done these characters before. So even some of these that we showed tonight, just spruce them up, a little bit of updating. There, but the next one I want to do, I think, is a little bit more in everyone's wheelhouse. You'll see some of that stuff. It's like they did these scary time story ones, and
Okay.
they're really good. A little provocative, but a lot of those are females, so you got to wait until you get the female bodies and stuff. But
Did you see we're getting a Goosebumps reboot that's coming
yeah,
on Disney
yeah,
Plus next
yeah,
week, I think, or this week,
Yeah.
yeah,
maybe. There's some creepy stuff from Human Centipede. Jesus, that's
yeah. Oh yeah, that's yeah.
loco.
Yeah. Somebody had another good idea. It was like Babadook in the book and stuff. They do the. This is one I'm surprised they haven't done because they've done it in so many different forms. I even got the MDS one.
The
That
Sam,
should be my like Halloween one for tonight.
the Sam.
Yeah, Sam. I watch that movie every year. I watch that. I watch Halloween, of course, and then I'll watch Nightmare on Elm Street 1 and 3 because those are my favorites.
They could
This is good.
Last Voyage of the Demeter as well. Like, I mean, obviously that leads into some. I don't want to spoil it, but they could do some good stuff with that from that movie
Yeah.
too.
This is one that I thought that they were gonna do before
Oh,
Super 7.
I would love it.
I
And I,
don't. Yeah, I just wonder if they have that license still. Maybe that's the reason why they didn't do it. But they killed that other version that they did.
Mars Attacks is not my, or I mean, Super Seven is a not not
No,
something.
I just mean like they did it.
Yeah,
So it's like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
yeah, they got some
It's,
cool monsters in there.
William Brooks. This is interesting. Burke and Hare had murders. It was so good. Everything. I have to research that. I haven't heard this.
I don't know if it comes from there.
William Burke and William Hare from the Burke and Hare murders would be good. I gotta look that up. I haven't heard it. This goes well because of the whole Solomon Kane thing. I've seen some
Yeah,
people kind of modifying and doing that stuff.
you can use some Solomon Kane and some Doc Nocturnal for Van Helsing. Like the Phantom Knights kit that he came with. That
Yeah.
would
Be easy for them to.
I think this is a killer idea.
Oh, Bride of Frankenstein, yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I have the Jada Toys one. This one would be hard. They're having a problem with the license, not
Yeah,
Mezco, but
the family or something, or there's
whoever owns the rights.
yeah. That's why we're not getting movies or anything really.
This is a good one. Have you ever seen this movie?
It was a good movie.
Yeah, just the characters, man. So I'm surprised. And then we're finished with this. I'm surprised Mezco hasn't done the Reanimator like that. Yeah, that's a good one too.
I'd like them to tap into, yeah, like you guys know, I'm a big Disney fan, but tap into the Disney Haunted Mansion line. Give us the Hitchhiking Ghost, the Hatbox Ghost. That would be badass to me.
Yeah, I think they'd have to work with Disney though.
Marvel and they're Marvel figures, Lucasfilms.
Yeah, but when you deal with one, like,
yeah, no,
when you deal with a subsidiary company and then you got to deal with the main company, I can't imagine what it would be like to deal with Disney. And
then they'd have, you'd see Mezco in the park for sale.
God, yeah. Well, I mean, from what I've heard, they're going out of business anyway. So
yeah, I heard that rumor.
Yeah,
both are Disney and Mezco.
Yeah, going out of business, their own crowdfunding their own stuff. All right, well, that's all I had, and we kept it very reasonable.
Yeah.
Well, she's doing shit. So that's about it. I think we'll do a show next week, and we will have guests on. Again, to both of you guys, happy Hangiversary. Thank you guys, and thank everybody that showed up tonight. Appreciate you. Strong show. Thank you for everybody that came, watched this live, checked in, checked out. If you're watching this or even listening to this later on, that's always an option. So, you guys got anything? She's like, nah, player, nah, show them clowns.
Enjoy your offers. There's a lot of them. Try to find time. It's hard. I said 3 figures. I can't figure out who to play with.
Yeah.
Too much.
Let's do this one really quick. I'll give you mine really quick. It was my scary adult. Obviously my dad. Just kidding. But not really.
Wait till your dad gets home.
Yeah, oof. I told you my dad was an Indiana Jones with the belt. He was good.
Wrap it around your waist, beat your ass with it.
Man, I remember he came in the room one time and flung that thing out, try to run away from him, grab my leg with that fucking belt, trip me. It was bad. Ooh, gosh. So taking the dad part out, probably the scariest person I had was my TI. I'll never forget her name. I won't say her name here, but
in case she's watching.
She might be.
Yeah.
But she was very intimidating. She was only like 5'6", and she started yelling at you. And oh my gosh, I remember it was her goal to make everybody in our group cry. I think she had a 90% success rate. She was vicious. I remember she called one dude in one day because they can open your mail. She had this guy came in, and she was sitting there reading this letter. And she's laughing, and the dude's just standing there. Remember, you're in basic training, MC, so you know how it is, right? Mm-hmm. Basically, she's sitting at her desk, legs propped up. She goes, "Oh God!" She goes, "Close the door." He closes the door, and she said, "Hey, oh my God, this is hilarious." She goes, "Your girlfriend just broke up with you."
Oh, what a bitch!
And he's just standing there at attention. He can't do anything. He can't reach for the letter. And she's like, "This is funny." She's cursing. She's like, she fucked 5 guys, and he's standing there, and she's just mind screwing this guy. She goes, "Oh my God, I can't believe this." She goes, "Do you want this letter?" And he's just sitting there. He's conflicted, didn't know what to do. She was cruel. Oh my God. That was just one of the things, man. She had nothing out of bounds, but she would mentally mess with you, and it was hardcore, bro. That was the scariest person ever. You guys got scaries? Cece's like, nothing like that.
Yeah, I didn't do any basic training or anything. So mine would go back further. As a child, I would say my elementary school principal, Mr. Weatherspoon. He's one of those old school principals that had the paddle with the holes drilled in it hanging above the door.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
extra.
back when you were allowed to put your hands on somebody's kid.
Yeah.
I never got in trouble, right? But I'll never forget when it was we had a little situation in the classroom, and one of my friends got sent down to that office. He came back a changed child. Like, he was he was not the same, bro. Like we could all look. You talk about quiet. He was not the same when he came back. That kid was changed. He was changed. But nobody ever wanted to hear the words go to the principal's office. So that would be the scariest, most frightening adult when I was a child.
MC?
Like knowing now, I feel bad, but we had this like older lady in our neighborhood, and she had like a stroke, so she couldn't say, like she had a expressive aphasia, so she'd sit and just speak garbled at you, and you think she's yelling at you, and she's like old and she just like faces droopy, like scared the shit out of us because we were scared that she was, like your kid, like, she a witch? Is she putting a curse on us? Because then the other kids in the neighborhood is, oh, she's the devil, she puts the devil's curse, like how kids are doing. So terrified, like go across the street to avoid. The poor lady's probably like offering us cookies for all I fucking know. Like,
yeah.
In hindsight, it was just like it just scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Like she was.
She probably was telling you like, watch out behind you.
Yeah, I know, right? You're in the bush. Corner.
Oh God, yeah. Minis came in.
Oh, hey,
Minnie.
Yeah, just watch the replay. It was a good show tonight, Minis. But you're here. That's all that counts. Check it out. Boom. Well, thank you again, everybody. Really appreciate coming in. I know I said that before, but I really do. Thank you for taking time out of your night, day, or both just to hang out with us, with all the characters and toy lines that we got and ways to get them. It's a great time to be the collector. So find things that bring you joy in the hobby. And if they can't, remember, they're just toys. So have fun. Bye-bye.